Hey, everybody, welcome to Snack Size DFS. I'm here to introduce the show. I'm Dan Bespris, and in just a matter of moments, our good buddy Brenton Eckersley will be breaking down the post-Christmas Day card for December the 26th. But before we get going, you know what we got to do here on the show, and that is remind you that our buddies at Bet Online continue to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, Bet Online provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football to the NBA and college basketball, NFL, UFC, NHL, you got it, they got it, you name it, they can do it. Head to Bet Online today and use promo code BELIEVE for a welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, the game starts here. Folks, please remember to hit the like button on the video so that way we can continue to say, hey, Brenton, people like the video. Let's do more of this type of video, meaning DFS, daily fantasy sports breakdowns are coming. Subscribe to the channel, Old Man Squad Sports Network. We got all the stuff you need. And make sure to follow my buddy Brenton over on social media at Terrain72. I think that's it. Actually, I think that's all we had to do before we get started. Let's dive in now. Here is Brenton Eckersley. Here is Snack Size DFS.
Thank you, Dan Bespris. Welcome everybody to Snack Size DFS, your Boxing Day edition. Apologies for a brief hiatus. I'm getting some episodes out for you guys. Obviously, it's a tricky time of year. In that vein, Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. Happy holidays if you don't. I hope everybody's getting around some family and friends and enjoying a drink or two and just enjoying yourselves in general. I've just finished up watching the Boston Philly game, which is pretty close on Christmas Day. It's actually Boxing Day over here, and we are recording a long time ahead of schedule for the December 26th games. Just keep that in mind. I've got to fit them in where I can, and so we are nearly 24 hours ahead of schedule here. So that means you have to keep an eye on the news. I'll be outlining everybody questionable, doubtful, and already ruled out, of course, but it'll be up to you guys after you watch this video to check in on the news and make sure that you don't miss anything vitally important. Let's get into it, shall we? This is Snack Size DFS for December 26th. We have 9 games on total, but DK has split that up into 7 and 2, I believe, and we're going to look at the 7-game slate, the classic tournament slates. So we'll just skip those other couple of games just to keep things brief. Game notes, Chicago at Atlanta. This is one of the fast ones, 243 game total expected. That's one of the fastest you're going to see. So this is an excellent game to attack. Toronto at Memphis, 237, also very quick. But you have to watch out for the blowout there. We don't have game totals yet for Miami at Orlando or Houston at the Pelicans, but we can pretty safely say both of those will be pretty slow games. Attack and stack. This is your options to maybe attack a particular team, or if you're weighing up between two certain players at a similar price, then you can look back at these and think, well, they're playing Washington in Charlotte's case here. Maybe I'll take the Charlotte guy. So the attack and stack teams to look at are Charlotte at Washington, the Atlanta Hawks playing Chicago, who give up fantasy points everywhere. Memphis at Toronto, same thing. And Houston at the Pelicans, same thing. Again, just very much keep an eye on that Atlanta-Chicago game. That's one of the best stacks that we've seen this season, given the pace of the game. Let's jump into them. Charlotte at Washington, a fast game. I like Miles Bridges here if Brandon Miller is still out. 6,800 is a roundabout decent floor price for Miles Bridges. He does have some upside. I wouldn't bother there if Miller plays, though. He is questionable at the moment. I love this Mark Williams play, 4,900. DK pricing does take a while to catch up, and Mark Williams is now ramping up into 20-plus minutes. Most games, and they're playing Washington. LaMelo Ball at 10K. Absolutely, I'll play LaMelo at 10K versus Washington in a fast matchup. No problems whatsoever. Onto the Washington team, Jordan Poole, 7,700. That's just too cheap for me. It is a fast matchup, as I said, and you can see his recent scores there from left to right. Left is the right is the most previous game, so coming off a 51 DK point game. Bilal Koulibaly, Kuzma has been ruled out already, so we can play Bilal at 6,300 and Jonas Valanciunas at 5,500. I really like this play. In fact, it's a smash play, but that is only if Alex Sarr sits. Moving into OKC at Indy, as has been the case a few times lately, the OKC players, Shea, Jalen Williams, the high price guys, they're probably only cash plays. There's not a lot of meat on the bone left there. I do like Isaiah Hartenstein at 7,300 as a cash play. He's just got such a solid floor. Miles Turner is not the best guy for keeping fantasy points down either, so Isaiah Hartenstein is a pretty good play. Cason Wallace 4,300. He's been all over the place down recently, but Caruso has already been ruled out. The shooting guard position, or that fifth starting position at OKC, has been really tough to work out. With Caruso out, you can look at Cason Wallace, and just keep in mind that AJ Mitchell was the guy last game. He went absolutely nuts. I think he had 44 DK points or something crazy, but that is a dart throw only. A dart throw, it's a blindfolded in a pitch black room swinging a toothpick at a pinata play, but you never know, it could happen again. Tyrese Halliburton on the Indiana team, 8,200. This is the floor for Tyrese. OKC is a tough matchup. 8,200 is an okay play if you want to play a decent point guard. In tonight's slate, 8,200 is not too bad. I do like Pascal Siakam because Miles Turner has actually come up questionable. When Turner doesn't play, Pascal will have to play more center minutes. That means more rebounds, potentially more blocks. 7,600 is okay if Turner sits. Obi Toppin, the guy that I just can never get right. I mentioned on my last episode that I need to start playing him. As soon as I started playing him, he dropped like less than 20 DK points 2 games in a row. But Turner is questionable. We should see a bounce back. 4,600 means Obi Toppin is in play, especially if Turner is out. And the other one, if Turner is out, is the new signing Thomas Bryant. 3K, that is bottom of the barrel pricing. But if Turner does not suit up, you can absolutely play Thomas Bryant. Miami at Orlando, this is going to be one of the slower games of the day. We know that Jimmy Butler is doubtful, and that probably means he's not playing. Trade rumours swirling again, so who knows. Tyler Hero, 7,900, that is a Butler doubtful play. Duncan Robinson is also a Butler doubtful play, but Rozier is also questionable, so 4,300 is a tournament play, Duncan Robinson. He'll either win you lineups or burn you to death. And I also really like Kelly Ware here. He's had 20 and 23 DK points in the last 2 games at 3,100. That's an easy play, especially for cash games. I believe that there is a lot of meat on the bone here. If Kelly Ware can get anywhere close to 30 minutes, which is probably only going to happen if Bam is out, but I still like watching this guy. He has high fantasy upside. 3,100, easy play. On the Magic side of the ball, Goga Bitadze, 6,500. That's still a good price for Goga. We've seen Wendell Carter Jr. now move to the bench. That keeps the floor of Goga's minutes in the starting position really, really healthy. He's still got a great floor. He does have high upside on his night. It's not the fastest matchup in the world, but I don't mind Goga here. Wendell Carter Jr. is very interesting to me now. They were playing him alongside Goga, and he has now moved to the bench with Mo Wagner doing his ACL, so we can look at 5,300 for Wendell Carter Jr. His minutes have not changed. No Mo, and the bench role is there. He's going to have to provide some scoring punch off the bench for the Magic. And we saw Trevelyan Queen get the start in the last game, 3,600, 34 minutes, had a huge game, but just keep in mind that Gary Harris is questionable again. But if Gary Harris is back into the lineup, you can probably curb a bit of enthusiasm on Mr. Queen. Chicago at Atlanta. This is the fastest game of the day, one of the fastest games of the season. We have the Sunu and Giddey questionable, and Lonzo Ball has come up as doubtful. Josh Giddey, if he plays, he is questionable. 6,800 is a great price in this matchup. Nikola Vucevic, 8,300, smashed Atlanta last time they played, 49 DK points. I like that price. Patrick Williams, if he starts due to outs, 4,100 is a good play as well, although his upside has been limited lately. On the Atlanta side of the ball, I like some high price guys here. Trae Young has come up as questionable, but he is only 9,200. And for Trae lately, this is the floor. This is not the ceiling, it's the floor. It's a great matchup versus Chicago, who just leak fantasy points everywhere. Excellent price for Trae. Also, Jalen Johnson. 9K is up there for Jalen Johnson, but again, this is the floor and a great matchup. If we see that Trae Young is out, Dyson Daniels is the guy. You can look at guys who can potentially start instead of Trae, but I just like to go straight to Dyson Daniels for the extra usage. 6,700. The other thing is Bogdan Bogdanovic is now questionable. Dyson has a great floor. If these guys are out, that's going to be an easily beatable price. And the other guy who is the injury replacement at the moment is Larry Nance Jr. 5K, Okongwu is still out. It's a little bit up and down for Larry, so that's probably more of a tournament play. Bouncing on to Toronto at Memphis, another fast one. RJ Barrett, 8,900. That's more of a cash play at the moment. That's kind of around where his value is sitting. The upside is there. Chris Boucher at 4K. This is a great play. Pirtle's still out. 23 and 31 DK points in his last 2 games. This is a fast matchup. No problems playing Boucher here. Can be a little bit hit and miss though. Grady Dick, 5,800. This is a cash play only. If we happen to see news that either Barrett or Barnes can't play for whatever reason, they're not even on the injury report at the moment, but what you can keep in the back of your mind is if one of those guys goes down, Grady Dick becomes the second offensive option, and then he is a must play, especially at that price. Jamal Shed, he had a massive game last time out, much like Trevelyan Queen, 3,700. He's come up as questionable though, just keep an eye on that. But yeah, if you've got a last spot you have to fill at a low price, Jamal Shed is not a bad option if he plays. On the Memphis side of the ball, love this matchup versus Toronto. Ja Morant, 8,500. This is just an easy play for me. Excellent price, great matchup, fast game. Jaren Jackson Jr. has been in a lull lately, but 7,200. The guy still has a very solid floor. This is a good matchup, and he has some upside. Desmond Bain finally bringing some life to the party. 6,900. He's coming off of 50 and 46 DK points. No problems playing Bain here. He's a good mid-priced option, probably one of the best on the slate. Santi Aldama at 5,100 continues to do good things every now and then. What we need to note here is there's no Marcus Smart. Different positions, but that means more Aldama minutes available. It's a tournament play. And then Jake LaRavia as Marcus Smart as well. He's already listed out Marcus Smart, so you can have cracks at LaRavia at 4,200. Houston versus my Pelicans. I picked Alperen Sengun last time to beat the living hell out of the Pelicans. He came pretty close. I think he had 46 DK points. This is still too cheap versus the Pels team, who are just horrible at the moment. Jabari Smith Jr. is one to look at 5,800. His last 2 there. You can see 35 and 38, and one of those was versus the Pelicans. Amen Thompson. Dylan Brooks is already ruled out. Just plug this in. You can start your lineups here. Amen Thompson, however you want to say it. 6K is a starter for Houston when Brooks isn't there. That's just an absolute smash play. Just lock him in, Eddie. Cam Whitmore is the other one who succeeded and got some more minutes. In fact, he got 27 minutes with Dylan Brooks out last game, so you can definitely look at Cam Whitmore here as a bit of a stab in the dark. For the Pelicans, CJ McCollum, 7K, it continues to be an easy price to play with Zion and Brandon Ingram out. Trey Murphy, 6,600. He's questionable. I don't know. As a Pelicans fan, I don't expect Trey to play here. I don't know why they'd risk him in a season that is very close to a tank season already. So if he plays, 6,600 is fine. Just be aware that I don't think he will play here. If he doesn't play, Jordan Hawkins is your guy. He's back. He's playing decent minutes. He's got past his injury now. 4,400. This is another very easy play if Trey Murphy sits. Brooklyn at Milwaukee, last game of the day. I have very little interest in the Nets here. Couple of low-price guys, Noah Clowney and Keon Johnson, who are both doing decent things. 4,400 and 4K respectively. And those are both plays with Dorian Finney-Smith and Zaire Williams, both questionable. If either or both of those guys play, it takes some of the shine off of these guys. I would still be interested in Clowney because at some point this guy's going to play big minutes. Is it now? It could be. So Clowney is an option. Giannis at 11-3, he's a high ceiling player. We all know it. I really like this if Dame sits. At the moment, both Giannis and Dame are questionable, so you can basically interchange them. If Dame can't play, you can play Giannis in your lineups. If Giannis can't play, you go back to Damian Lillard, and that's just all about usage. Bobby Portis is an absolute rock solid. Just lock him in, Eddie, like Amen Thompson. You can play him at 7K if Giannis sits. If Giannis plays, I want nothing to do with Bobby Portis. And the other guy that is a nice injury replacement here. Sorry, not an injury replacement. He's a usage guy, is Chris Middleton. We're finally seeing some decent minutes and scores from Chris Middleton. 6,500. If Giannis or Dame sit, I'm interested. If both of them sit, he's going to be in smash territory. And the washing machine guys in injury replacements, if Dame doesn't play, it's going to be either Rollins or Trent Jr. or AJ Green. If you can pick which one it's going to be, you're a better person at DFS than I am. In those instances, I tend to stay away. But again, sometimes we just get to places where we need to slot someone in low price. One of these guys is going to have to score and put up some fantasy points. And my favourite picks for the day: Mark Williams versus Washington. Jalen and Trey versus Chicago. I also don't mind Larry Nance Jr. versus Chicago. Kello versus Orlando. Ja Morant versus Toronto. Amen Thompson versus the Pelicans. And Bobby Portis versus Brooklyn. Want to thank you for joining me. Enjoy your holidays. You can find me on Twitter and bsky at Terrain72. Back to you, Dan, and I'm going to go get a glass of water.
Thanks for that, Brenton. That was, as always, a delight. That was Snack Size DFS here on Old Man Squad Fantasy Sports. I am Dan Bespers. Thanks, as always, for tuning in. Please remember on the way out to subscribe to what we're doing here. Hit that like button on the video so we can get more of these DFS shows to you as Brenton has the time to put them together. Go destroy that card. Go get some Amen Thompson up in your universe. And go win some money. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to stay tuned. We'll have all of our full season fantasy stuff coming up in just a few moments on this main channel. See you later for now.